One of my most popular videos starts with this counterintuitive premise. Men are about feelings, not about looks. What that means is that men may be drawn in by how you look, but what keeps a man in your life is how he feels when he's around you. In today's Love You podcast, we're going to quickly explore 5 ways you can make a guy feel great, so when you finally meet a good one, he'll want to devote his entire life to making you happy. Stick around. I'm Marc, Katz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women and your personal trainer for love. Welcome to the Love You podcast. Keep listening to learn 5 feminine traits that men find totally irresistible. When we're done, I'll let you know how you could apply to Love You to create a passionate relationship that makes you feel safe, heard, and understood. So I always like to frame these videos, right? Because we talk about these concepts a lot, by mentioning masculine and feminine energy and acknowledging that the label is a little one-sided. They're shorthand. If masculine energy is often associated with aggression, that doesn't mean there are no aggressive women out there. If feminine energy is associated with sensitivity, that doesn't mean there are no sensitive men. So as we roll through this, don't focus so much on the label feminine, so much as ask yourself whether you do these 5 things that will invariably improve your relationships and connections with men. Ready? Go. Number 1, acceptance. I lead with that because it's the most important by far. You know how you tell your girlfriends how wonderful they are, how beautiful they are, how strong they are, how amazing they are? Well, on behalf of most men, we do not get the same vibes from our friends, and we certainly don't get the same vibes from you. In fact, when we're in a relationship, half of what we hear is what we're doing wrong, how we need to change, how disappointing we are, how if we truly loved you, we'd be able to intuit your every need without fail. Alas, that's not how real life works. I'm highly vocal as your coach, highly vocal about telling you to dump any man who mistreats you. But if you're gonna have a boyfriend, the number 1 thing you could do is accept him as he is. Don't tell him he needs a better job. Don't tell him he could eat healthier. Don't tell him you don't like his friends or you think his gaming is stupid, even though it is. He chose you as his girlfriend because ostensibly you love him as he is and see him as his best self, not a project. Would you want to be with a man who is constantly pointing out your flaws? Of course not. So stop pointing ours out. They're real. They're not going anywhere. And if you're going to be happy together, you have to accept the things that you don't like about him. If you do, if you can, you will be the first woman he's met in his entire life who fully accepts him as he is. I dated hundreds of people before I met my wife. I married her because she was the only person who fully accepted me and saw me as I was, flaws and all, without constantly reminding me how much I sucked. This is huge. Number 2, appreciation. And this is a great follow-up to acceptance. Men, as a gender, tend to be action-oriented. If we were reading the 5 love languages and speaking the 5 love languages, men are more likely to engage in acts of service, doing things for you to make you happy. So if a guy is changing your tire, making you coffee in the morning, picking up the check, giving you an extra orgasm after he's already finished, his entire reward for doing these things is you letting him know how much you appreciate his efforts. Just like my wife doesn't want to be taken for granted as a stay-at-home mom, and for running our entire lives and our entire household. And I got to tell her I appreciate when she makes dinner, and I appreciate when she does the laundry, and I appreciate when she takes the dog to the vet. Nobody wants to be taken for granted, right? So my wife reminds me that she appreciates that I support our family. I remind her that I appreciate all the little things she does, and you have to appreciate your boyfriend for what he does instead of focusing on what he doesn't do. Number 3, admiration. It's not only women who like to hear compliments, and compliments are often more powerful if they're not what he expects to hear. Maybe you've experienced this. If you have been beautiful your entire life and someone tells you you're beautiful, it doesn't mean as much. It's nice, but it doesn't mean as much as being told that you're smart, that you're funny. As I alluded to, men never get compliments from their friends. It's not how guys talk to each other. Guys make fun of each other, rip each other apart. So, believe it or not, we're actually very hungry for kind words, letting us know that, yeah, we look good before we go out to a party. Or, yes, it's really sweet how I talk to your mom. Admiring a guy doesn't mean that you're unnaturally kissing his ass. But I don't know anybody on the planet who minds being told, hey, you're a great problem solver. You're an empathetic listener. You're amazing in bed. These are all things that guys like to hear, that they are admired. Number 4, trust. I've done entire videos about trust, but I will gently point out in this snippet that we all respond better to being trusted than mistrusted. If you went to work and got patted down as you left the office every day because they were afraid of you stealing office supplies, you'd feel pretty down about going to work. If every day you went into work and they monitored your computer and its search history because they don't trust that you're working, that also doesn't feel good. Right? You might decide there might be a better working environment than that. So remember, this doesn't mean that you should trust all men. It means that if you're going to have a boyfriend, you have to assume that he's a trustworthy person until he actively demonstrates otherwise that he's not a trustworthy person. You need to treat him that way, because I didn't get into a relationship to discover that you've been looking at my phone. Right? Nobody does. Next, number 5, also big, support. It's tough out there. The world is pretty cruel, pretty indifferent to our happiness. Work is competitive and stressful. And men, for the most part, don't have close networks of friends. There's no men's networking groups, no men's book clubs, no real retreats for men to discuss their feelings. And so when you're with a man, you're often his only form of emotional support. I know that's a lot of pressure, but it's true. You can call your mom, you can call your sister, you can call your best friend from high school, from college, from your first job. Your guy has virtually nobody. So when a man lets you into his heart, be gentle with it. Believe in his dreams. Validate his feelings. Give him a safe place that he can vent and be himself. Treat him with the same compassion that you effortlessly treat your girlfriends. And again, you'll be the only person who does this for him. So the purpose of this video, this audio, is to encourage you to bring your best self to a relationship by using these 5 prototypically feminine traits: acceptance, appreciation, admiration, trust, and support. These are some of the many ways in which I honestly think women have it over men. You're better friends, you're more patient, you're more supportive, you're kinder to each other than guys are. The problem is that all of us in relationships tend to take our partners for granted, and we're not as nice to the person who we ostensibly love as we are to friends, coworkers, strangers on the street. So try to incorporate these ideas and take them to heart, and watch miraculously as the man in your life ends up treating you better because you started doing this and treating him better. And by the way, everything I said works equally well when men do these things for you. So remember, this is not gender-specific advice. Please comment below, and if you feel like I said something that applies to how you can do better in relationships, I'd love to hear it. We're all works in progress, and it takes great strength to look in the mirror and realize that you fall into the same traps as the rest of us do as well. My name is Marc Katz. Thanks for tuning into the Love You podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click the subscribe button and ring the bell. Choose all to ensure you get notified when new content comes out. If you're listening to the audio podcast, please share an honest review on Apple. More reviews equals more awareness of the Love You podcast and more love in the world. And if you want to have an easy relationship that makes you feel safe, heard, and understood, go to the link below or go directly to evanmarckatz.com and click on the button to watch that free video at the top of the page about how to gain confidence, attract quality men, and fix your broken man picker. When you're done, you could apply to Love You to join hundreds of other smart, strong, successful women from around the world in a coaching community where women like you actually get the unconditional love that you deserve. I'll see you there. Thanks a lot.